Hi guys, it is me, Miss MatchaBlossom. I'm not smacking my hands today. Obvious hand injury. We're not doing it. I already did that earlier today by accident by laughing and I kind of hurt it. It's fine. Today we're actually going to be talking about this series that I'm kicking off besides another series I'm going to kick off later. This is more for like basic people who are getting into Hanfu. I noticed a lot of people like my two famous videos here about where to find Hanfu and how Hanfu began. So if you're interested in knowing a little bit more about Hanfu so that when people ask you more questions about it, you have a little bit more background, here's a series called The Basics in Hanfu, or just Hanfu Basics, whatever the title is that I put it down. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out as we go, but it's okay. So if you're wondering where I got this Hanfu from, I should have an unboxing video already. If I don't, I'm sorry. I should have it. I got this online. I don't really tell where it's from anymore because I keep getting harassed about it. So today we're actually gonna be talking about let's learning Hanfu. We're talking about some basics. So here's some basics that you can start off with just to know a little bit more on Hanfu. Right, Jack? Do you want to know some about Hanfu? Do you want to wear some Hanfu? It's okay. You're cute as you are. Now I'm gonna get into collar types just so that's a little bit more cohesive. Collar types very much varied in Hanfu. Very much. Hopefully these will help you understand more about like Hanfu and how to establish it apart. Because for me at least, it helps me understand which Hanfus are which. That way, I kind of know where I'm at. Now, if we're talking about the first collar, it's going to be pretty obvious. Jiao Ling. And that one's more of a crossover collar. So I'm going to start off with the basics and start off really easy first, just to kind of lead you into like, oh, these are the collars. Yes, I got you, honey. It's okay. Those are called the cross collars. Normally they have a left to right intersection, but if you look at some of the videos or either information online, if you notice some cultures, they have it crossed over different ways, and sometimes it's crossed. Sometimes you'll see people cross it over to the left, or sometimes due to like either cameras or any mirror imaging, you can see it looks like it's crossed over to the right. But most of the time they're crossed over to the left for Hanfu at least. Now, if you know this, if you don't know this, it's a fun fact. Normally you're always going to see a Hanfu crossed over to the left. Hello guys. Editing Matcha here. Oh, let's get to the point of what I mentioned in this video clip. So if you guys are wondering what I'm referring to in the video clip as left over right, in the information that was found later on from the history that it usually was actually right over the left side because just like in many other countries besides China, it was very discouraged to be left-handed, and they thought, you know, having it on the right was more dominant and more, you know, easier, if not normal. You didn't seem like you were possessed by a demon or a ghost, because it depended on countries too. Other people thought you were possessed by the devil, to be honest. I'll try to put some articles here just to kind of, or some history instances on why they kind of discouraged left-handedness as well. But later on, it became more traditional to do left over right for a lot of things, for a lot of different types of Hanfu or garments, because it was also easy for agricultural reasons. And also, if you were kind of using it to the left side, you were counted as considered a barbarian if you were left-handed as well, if not a stranger, or how do you not use your right hand, you barbarian? Other countries, if you guys don't know, people who were left-handed were considered like possessed by the devil or a demon or something. So in other pictures, I'll try to post them in here, like even in some famous pictures, you'll see right over left in a lot of them, but then also you'll see in some other pictures here there's going to be left over right. But it goes to show you that as the mark of civilization was going, left over right was more accepted than right over left later on. If you do get Hanfu that's like that, that's just something to think about, besides it being mentioned in funeral arrangements. As I mentioned, I will post this person's article that explains a lot of depth that goes into it. There's 3 parts to kind of explain it so people can stop having the war of, you're wearing it on the wrong side. Okay, look up your history, and then we'll talk. But yeah, thank you. Now back to the video. Now I'm gonna say this because I can't speak for everyone. If you see a Hanfu picture and it's crossed over to the right side, there's either 2 different instances. One, it either has to do with like a different person's culture or the way they wanted to design the Hanfu, even though I don't really think that's true for Hanfu. Or there's the other option, which is it's actually just being mirrored by the camera or picture or whatever lens, whether it's a phone, DSLR, camera, it doesn't matter. Sometimes the mirror images can throw you off and think it's crossed over to the right. This is the Jiao Ling collar. So that's the cross collar. Just try to remember that. And it is very common in the basics of Hanfu to have this. So if you do see it a lot, now you know what kind of placket or collar type it is. Now, the other collar that is very similar and known in the Tang Dynasty, and I believe also in the Song Dynasty, is the Ling collar. Now, this one is pretty much worn a lot, sometimes with dancers or women that are very curvy or in upper class, or, you know, sometimes in movies, TV shows, C-dramas, or photographies in shows or musicals or plays. You'll sometimes see it in Hanfu or people who design different, when you see it in murals as well. For the Ling collar, I do have a video that actually where I'm unboxing a Ling collar Hanfu. Go ahead and watch it there if you want to see it more visually. But that one's mostly worn in the Tang Dynasty. It's one of the Han collars that was officially made. Mostly you can see it in the Dunhuang mural. A lot of stuff you can find in those murals. If you're curious about Dunhuang murals and also different Hanfus that are tied into those murals, go ahead and watch this video because I made a video on that. It's very influenced by the Hu culture. Even though it's very similar in the Tang Dynasty, you will find it in the Wei and my brain is dead. You can see it in the Tang Dynasties. You can also find them in the Wei, in the Jin Dynasties, and also influence. So you do see it in the early dynasties of Tang Dynasty, if that helps. It is in the dynasty of Tang, but it's more early because they started bringing back a lot of other cultures and dynasties. It was originally made in the Wei and Jin Dynasty. It's also known, besides the Ling collar, it's also known as the Yu collar. Ew, stop, don't do that. Don't do that. You don't go in the kennel. Stop. Don't do that here. Go to sleep. He's tired, his eyes are red. Another collar, which is very similar, is called the Ling collar, which is what I'm wearing, yes. Sorry. Now, this collar is also known as the Mandarin collar, but it's the Ling collar, which I'll post more information. If I haven't said it in this video, I'll post it on the side or in the video edit so that you guys can see more information more about it. This collar is normally known for it being popular in the Ming Dynasty, so it's a Ming kind of vertical collar, but it also has a rectangular square angle, so it goes all the way around in a more rectangular way. It's very fitted. You always want to make sure you still have a little bit of snug room. Like, this is very snug, but it doesn't like suffocate me. I want to make sure you have that in the Ling, also known as the button jacket. So you can either have it like with this, also you can have it just without. So you can have it with or without Ming Dynasty. I see them wear either the Ma Mian Shen skirts, like the pleated skirts, have this collar type on top, or they'll have like just a pleated skirt or different type of bottom. There are two different styles of vertical collars that they have for this type. The big breasted jacket, and sometimes there's a pair of the lapel on it as well. So there's different types of like Ming Dynasty collars. I have it for the double breasted jacket, that's very similar to this, but it'll be like a double breasted jacket. Now the next collar we're gonna move into is the Jiling. It's Zhiling. I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, I'm really trying. Jiling. It's normally known as the straight collar. Very common to have this collar, normally in Tiozi, Bijia, and a rouge skirt. Ooh, my throat. Oh, Lord help me. Now, this one I feel like is more comfortable and more softer than the Ling, like the stand collar that you previously heard. I feel like this one, I feel like I can probably see it in an Aochin. A-O-Q-U. And I feel like that's where you would wear it, but I'll put the pictures right here as well to kind of help coordinate with all that. Now, the next collar, I am so sorry I'm butchering these names. I am trying. The Yuan Ling collar, which is the round collar. Now, you might have seen this a ton of times in C-dramas, if not also in murals. It's very unisex from what I see on Hanfu. It's the very most common type of collar that's very rounded. It has a hard lining on the inside, some buttons on the neckline going down to the side. So just down to the right side, could be the left. This rounded collar has been actually noticed or really discovered more in the early Han Dynasty, more popular later on in the Sui and the Tang Dynasty. You notice a lot of murals like servant or female servants even, or a lot of lower class sometimes wearing it depending on their status role. Can be very popular with certain dynasties in that, because it, once again, it started in the Han Dynasty. Like, I've noticed Tang Dynasty took a lot of here and there from different dynasties and just like made it a fashion trend. Like they made their own thing. I'm like, go ahead, Tang. Now there's another collar which is called the Ling collar. It's normally known as the square collar. Now you're gonna find this on a lot of vests or bijias. I say banbi. So for example, what's common in a bijia, which is a half sleeve, or as in other Hanfu, it's just like you'll find it either like in a full bombi or like where it's like kind of short sleeve, or there's just coming over just the shoulder for the bombi. Excuse me, for the bijia. It can be complex with the square collars. They can actually have like sharp edges and lines to them as well, so that it's like really direct on here, or it could be more softer. It just depends on the garment, how it's being made. It was more popular in men's Hanfu, but it doesn't stop it from being in females Hanfu. It was much more softer and the lines weren't as harsh as seen in female Hanfu, so of course it had a little bit more playfulness into the Hanfu itself when they had these kind of square collars. So more in ancient times, of course, that's when they had. Those are the different types of collars that I did want to go over with you guys. Just remember the collar type. There's the Jiao Ling, Tang Ling collar. There is the Li Ling collar. There's the Jiao Ling straight collar. There's a Yuan Ling collar, and there's the Fang Ling collar. Ton of collars. Hey guys, so just to kind of cut in again, I'm so sorry for cutting in this video. I probably did it twice. This is very important. So I know there are some collars in here that I have not discussed, and I just want to say that there is going to be a link down below that you guys can check out. Check out more Hanfu collar types. In this video, I did want to talk about more, but the video would be way longer than what you see here. So I did go ahead and leave an area down below in the description for if you're looking for more other Hanfu types that are more in your interest or out of curiosity, or to get any comments down in my messages, because I feel like people do not check description. There are a lot of links down there, but other than that, I'll let the video get back to itself. The reason why I made this video, you're probably like, this is not going to get a lot of views. You'd be surprised how many times people don't really recognize the collars can do with the type of Hanfu that you're going to be wearing and what dynasty they're coming. Feel free to look them up, and if you want, it helps you kind of like landmark a little bit more about the history of the Hanfu. Not only are you trying to know about the Hanfu and its dynasty, but you kind of have an idea of what kind of look you're looking for. If you want to know how to make your own Hanfu, I have kind of like a walkthrough guide video, which is right over here. I know I keep mentioning different videos I made, but it's really going to help you. But that's all that I have for today. If you have any questions more about Hanfu and what type of videos you want to see for the Let's Learn Hanfu series, go ahead and hit them in the comments down below. It actually does help me get so many videos out to you guys that you are actually looking for. And it helps me understand what you're looking for. So thank you guys so much for being patient with me and being there for me. But I just want to say thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And do not forget to hit the like and subscribe and hit the bell notification to keep yourself informed when I have a new video, because YouTube be slipping. It's for peace, love, and happiness. It's only up to you to make every day beautiful. I'll see you ladies and gents later. Bye. Blossom out. Bye. Hey Jack, you wanna be in my video? You wanna be in my video? Excuse me, let me take my phone real quick. You wanna be in my video? I feel like I'm like giving either two different looks. I'm giving like, I'm the really older sister auntie spinster that just didn't care and is living her best life with all the colors in the world. Or I'm just like that really rich auntie that's just trying to look young again to be human again. Sit the hell down. Is this enough lighting? No, it's not. Fuck, I didn't want to go outside on the patio.